back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Black Hole. What is the most stupid thing someone has said to you with confidence? Coworker of mine, after they found out I'm colorblind, so you can see this, is holding a red tray we used to carry others out. I mean, yeah, but wait, you can see the tray? Confused for a moment, did you think I couldn't see the object because it's red? Well, duh, if you're colorblind, you can see things that are that color, right? They aren't invisible to me, you dumbass. I just can't properly tell what color it is. I know that trays were red because they were literally called the Reddit trays. Deciding to put in a second story regarding people and my color blindness. I was playing Rocket League with a buddy. We're in my club/clan thingy and got matched against people in a different one. So the team colors were used instead of the standard ones. Our team was white and the other was apparently a green. I complained about it being difficult to distinguish which net to shoot at sometimes, and my buddy asked, "Do you want me to screenshot my screen and send you a picture so you can see their color?" I stayed silent and let him think about what he said. It took him about a minute before he realized what he had asked. When you drill a hole, you need to place your hand behind the spot where you're drilling. He said it will make it easier to drill. I really didn't want to add a hole to my hand. Well, maybe you wouldn't have almost died in childbirth if you were living off the land. Asians don't have fingerprints. Obviously, that's why so many are ninjas. The sun is made of gold. We debated for hours. He still refused to believe it was not. My 6th grade science teacher told the class that the moon was bigger than the sun because the moon covered the sun during an eclipse. Someone once told me that smoking cigarettes will help treat my asthma because my lungs will be building a tolerance to smoking, and that means that I won't have such a hard time during asthma attacks because my lungs would already be used to the strain that smoking causes. He even tried to back it up with, "My friends have asthma and they smoke." My brother-in-law said that black people have 6 toes. I am black and said that isn't true. We actually argued over it. Should I just remove a shoe and showed him? "Oh yeah? Well, see for yourself." Immediately proves your point, plus establishes dominance. If you ever fall out of a plane without a parachute, you should grab onto the ground when you hit it, so that you don't bounce, because that is the bounce that kills you, not the first impact. He swore that it was true and that a skydiving instructor had told him. I believe the skydiving instructor told him that, but the skydiving instructor probably thought he was smart enough to get the joke. Skydiving instructors have a litany of stupid shit they say to enlighten the mood. You are about to jump out of a perfectly good airplane on purpose. We had a block of instruction prior to my jump, and my instructor was telling us about the reserve chute. If your primary fails to open, you have the rest of your life to deploy your reserve. Space was created by Disney to further the hoax of space/Earth being round. He was dead serious, and he quoted his own brain after much research as his source. I wish I was kidding. People in high school didn't believe me when I told them that English came from England and was indigenous to England. Similarly, for some reason, someone in college insisted that English was indigenous to America. I was in New York City for a holiday, and someone I was speaking to asked me if I was French. I said no, I am English, and she told me I wasn't speaking real English. I had to explain to her that that would be difficult considering I speak English and am from England. She did not see the irony. My front desk gym rep. I gave them a 1-week free gym membership, March 27th to March 35th. And it would have been March 34th anyhow. A distant cousin who was long been a complete dumbass once told me that whatever direction she is facing is north. It came up when I was on the phone giving someone directions and she was nearby. I said something like go north on X Street, then take a left on Y, etc. She overheard me and said that I didn't make any sense because whatever direction you're facing is north, so north changes depending on which way you are facing. I said, no, north is north, it is only the direction you're facing if you happen to be facing north. And she started arguing with me over it. She definitely was not just freaking with me because she is a dumbass that has a long history of saying really stupid shit. Your cousin is a compass. Has she ever been to South Pole? She'd be correct there. She wouldn't be able to figure out how to get to the South Pole because every time she tried to get there, she'd be heading north. That she could never use a sperm donor to have a kid because she wasn't 100% sure that the baby/child would speak English. Why is there a slash between baby and child? It's probably for the best that she won't use a sperm donor. You shouldn't wear a seatbelt because in the event of a crash, you're better off being thrown out of the car than being trapped in it. As an EMT, it will certainly be less paperwork. Oh, I don't believe in electrons. I've never seen one. Have you? No, I don't think so. I guess they're trying to be more positive. When I went into the nuclear navy, I got the equivalent to a PhD in nuclear engineering in 6 months. All the real nuclear engineers just fell down laughing. Talk about brainwashing. You're not Asian, you're Chinese. She's Asian. You don't know that, she could be Korean. When I was in grade 10 of high school in the US, so we were 15/16 year old, a guy in my class argued with me because he was insistent that the penis has a bone. Because, and I quote, why else would it be called a boner? Interestingly enough, while human penises do not have bones, the penises of almost all other primates do. I had a roommate in college who visited Spain and thought that it was hilarious that people there commented on his accent. For him, I don't have an accent, I'm an American. Tom, you're one of the reasons that people think that we're all stupid. In a similar vein, a friend of mine in college had a boyfriend from the UK. You would not believe how many people asked him how he was able to speak English so well. It was horrifying. I was talking to an old hippie about weed once. Insisted that there existed 2 different kinds of grams, metric and imperial. He must have been high. I used to work in a lab where origami was a pretty big thing. So there were origami figurines all over the place. Some guy comes to visit and comments on the figures and says, "Those are nice, what are they called? Macrame?" I said they're origami. He responded, "I'm pretty sure it's macrame. I'm usually right about this sort of thing." My dad's story. A co-worker told my father that you should always bring someone with you in the operating room when you're having a surgery, or else the doctor will molest you. I mean, I'm sure it's happened, but apparently the guy was 100% convinced that every doctor would do it. I mean, the surgeon did mess around with my chest during my breast reduction. How many breasts are you down to now? 3. Anne Frank is Hitler's daughter. I learned all about it. My history teacher in high school, she didn't really say it, but she had a question on her test that basically asked where Pearl Harbor was, and to her the correct answer was Japan, so everybody who answered Hawaii got it marked wrong. There was a student revolt and she insisted that it was in Japan because there was no way Japanese aircraft would wing all across the ocean to attack us. We then had to explain to her that aircraft carriers were a thing back then. She wasn't convinced. Anyway, parents got involved and eventually the principal had to step in. The whole test was called into question because of some other questionable stuff. The whole thing was thrown out and we all got A's.